Hi, this is Gary Sandlund coming from the CME Group to talk a little bit about what's taking place over in the agricultural space as of late. And as we see, and typical this time of year, we're starting to see a little more volatility increase as we start to wind up for the U.S. Growing season that's fast approaching. What we're seeing here today, March 8th, is we're seeing the U.S.D.A. will release some carryout figures as of March 1st, and we're seeing what they're anticipating and what our supplies will be like here at the end of the year. Bean supply still extremely tight at 120 million bushels is what they're expecting right now. And the reason for that is the Brazilian logistics situation is continuing to be burdensome. We're continuing to see much more exports out of the U.S., more than anyone anticipated. The domestic crush rate is still continuing to be very good. And we're seeing the offtake just being very robust around the entire globe. Will that change? Well, we only can hope to see what pans out with the Brazilian situation and the logistics down there. But in the meantime, the U.S. side of things is the supplier of the world. Corn, on the other hand, continuing to struggle on the export channel. There really isn't any. We saw yesterday morning with the export sales of a cancellation of 49,000 tons. The South Americans continue to supply the world with the corn supply, though domestically we're seeing things return and increase there. Animal numbers are getting better. The ethanol margins are improving, so you're seeing the more of the domestic consumption really start to grow. But on the flip side, wheat is continuing to get a lot cheaper, and we're seeing wheat being put into rations that are very non-typical. We're seeing wheat being tested to see if they can use for ethanol. We're seeing more and more wheat being forced into feed rations and things along those lines. And the world's supply of wheat is continuing to be burdensome. So we need to figure out a price level that the consumer continues to consume more and more of the wheat. So where do we go forward from here? Today with the U.S.D.A. report after this, and then we have a big one on March 28th, which is the acreage number, and that'll catapult us into the growing season in the United States. And obviously weather will dictate where we go from there. After last summer's growing problems and the drought, obviously we all know what took place that summer. We'll see what comes about this year. So far the winter has replenished some of the subsoil moisture, but obviously much more is needed considering what took place last summer.